To get going with docAppender, what I need to do is a few things to get set up. One is create a folder. This is where all the student documents will live. The second will be to create a Google form. This is all the questions that will be listed here will be things I would ask when I'm conferencing with a student. Except for one thing, is when I set up my form, I've got all my regular questions and my help text here. I've got a little chunk down here for some additional notes. But one thing I want you to remember to do is do not put any student names. Just put student name, have a multiple choice, and just leave the options there as blank. If I go back to my student sample folder, what I'm going to need to do is create a Google Doc for every single kid in my class. If I open up Smedley's folder here, you're going to notice that I already created a header by choosing Insert Header. So that way every document is going to look the same. It's going to have this heading here. So it kind of reminds me of what all the information on the document is about. Really easy to do this though is I could just highlight these two guys, right click and choose Make a Copy. Now here's my copy. I can right click and rename. So I have all my documents ready to go. I have my form ready to go. So what I'm going to need to do now is click on this icon here for add-ons and go to docAppender. Check the blog post for how to get docAppender into your Google form. Open sidebar. I already have my folder ready, so I'm going to click Pick from Drive. This is the folder that I showed you earlier. Click Next. I'm going to click Refresh, even though it looks like it didn't do anything. Trust me on that one. Select the question, student name. Now check this out. This is the question I want to have all the titles of the Google Docs pulled in and populated right here. So watch the magic. I'm going to click Save and Populate. Bam. And you've got all the names automatically listed there. Pretty slick. I'm going to click Next. Saying from the form, what do you want to put on the Google Doc? I'm going to select all of these because I think all of them are potentially important to have on my final report. I'm going to click here. I like these separate vertical tables. I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. Click Enable. And we should be good to go. What I'm going to do is scroll up to the top of the page though. Click a little eyeball so we can start filling in some information so we can see what it looks like on the other end. This should go to the Colin Davitt Google Doc. Here's the information that I filled out. I'm going to click Submit. Now, what we normally see is something like this. It's kind of hard to read, in my opinion. But if I go to the Colin Davitt file, so here's what I see. It's got all the information from my Google form, including the all-important timestamp. So as I go along and I keep filling out for Colin, more and more information will be populated here. Let's take a look at that. So as you see, here's my first entry. Here's my second entry. So what it's going to keep doing is just adding on at the bottom of the document. So as we go along, day after day, week after week, whatever it may be, one of these, think of it as like new note cards are going to be added to just my doc. So anytime I need to meet with Colin again, I just pull open the doc, review what we did last time or even the last few times, have a good sense of what's happening so I can have a better, more directed conversation.